Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time once again for some more Lost Eidolons. Now, last time when we played, we had assisted Ballastar in dealing with Lord Aurelio and his tamed monsters. And now we're back in camp. As Ballastar said, we're going to camp here and then leave the next day. When it was a long hard fight after all, and we needed a good rest. So, a couple of interesting things, well, a few things have popped up. New prestige quests available, free. We haven't experienced prestige quests before, so that will be something new. New visitors have arrived in camp. Karin, the monster hunter. New quests have been added. There's a new visitor in camp. Marshall might know more. Francisco is training troops in the square. It looks like Robert is worried about something. The soldier near Robert has something to report, and Salma, the rare goods merchant, has arrived. We may now hold an appointment ceremony as some of our characters have unlocked new classes. It's not really going to do anything particularly though. So, let's head out of the tent. You see the attendant standing there. He seems to have new things to tell us, so let's take a look and maybe learn a thing or two from him.
Sir, any information I can provide?
Indeed, let's ask about character classes.
You mentioned something about classes earlier. How do I discover new classes?
You'll have to demonstrate your aptitude for it, meet certain conditions. First, you need to reach a certain level of overall experience. Then you need to master the right weapons and armor required by that role. You can do that either in battles or through training here in camp.
What a hassle. Mercenary life was so much simpler.
Mercenaries had no class. You can access the class tree from the class tab of the camp menu. Here you can view the skills and requirements for future classes. You can earn these requirements by participating in battles and training in camp. When a character meets the requirements for a class, it will automatically become available to them the next time you visit camp.
You mentioned something about classes earlier.
It would seem that the attendant here can literally provide us with pop-up tutorials and information about a vast number of gameplay elements, many of which have been covered already. By me.
Thanks.
Sir, any information I can provide?
No, we're good.
Thanks for the advice. We'll talk again soon.
So, quests. Where are we? After battle, talk with Geo. We have returned with Ballastar's troops after defeating Aurelio and his monsters. Now might be a good time to get to know them better before the next mission. Let's also look at some of these. So Aurelio was previously in the employ of House Corax, so let's at least look at that. A guerrilla force of outlaws and outcasts, Colin's Crows are a persistent thorn in the Empire's side, able to strike quickly at provincial outposts, then scatter to the hills before reinforcements arrive. For this reason, and despite the reprisals they often incite, the Crows enjoy widespread popularity among the dispossessed, an image they happily embrace. It is all too common for an unsuspecting village to awaken overnight and discover their town square has been papered with Colin's latest manifesto, proclaiming impending victory against the conqueror's serpents. And of course, House Zerpiel's insignia is actually a serpent. In recent years, the Crows have inflicted a sting of surprisingly costly losses on Imperial forces, threatening to destabilize the throne itself. But with disorganized leadership and divided internal factions, they've struggled to convert temporary victories into lasting damage. Aurelio also was a tamer of monsters. So long as monsters have roamed Artemesia, there have been those who seek to harness them, whether for profit or study. Such efforts usually end in death. Though some assert that monsters are simply animals, this belief is not borne out by reality. Mutated by soulstone energy, monsters are another form of life entirely. In many ways, a hellhound is as different from a dog as a dog is from a fish. While their behaviours vary wildly from one another, one thing unites all monsters: absolute aggression toward humans, and I wonder why that could be. Could it be something to do with the soul stones? Whether young or old, gently enticed or harshly coerced, a monster will strangle itself to death rather than accept a bridle. On the other hand, crafty souls who accept that fact can find creative ways to take advantage of it. Among mercenary companies who battle monsters today, it is common to appoint quick-footed decoys as bait and make use of provoking tactics. Others, such as Aurelio, have even utilised monsters in warfare, though such methods are inherently risky. And Selvin is our current location. I'll read of that as well before continuing on. Tucked away in a mountainous region on the border of the Misty Woods, the town of Selvin began as a hunter's lodge and logging camp, and grew over time into a cosy hamlet. Once cheerful and bustling, Selvin is today barren and sparsely populated as the creeping expansion of the Misty Woods brings a rise in monster attacks that threatens to drive out residents entirely. Those who remain eke out a meagre living operating inns, stables, and other services for the Imperial Army, which occasionally uses the town as an outpost. Well then, let's meander off in this direction around the corner. So once again, it's night time in camp. The hour is growing late, we just had a long battle, we're getting ready to bed down for the night, but there are things to do. And there's Chelsea. So, what do you think of us farmers now that you've seen us in action? Don't get all full of yourself. Winning 1 or 2 battles doesn't put you on our level, not even close. Sheesh, you really know when someone's trying to make peace. I'll give you one chance to apologise and we'll forget it ever happened. Ha! Me? Apologise to you? I'll pass, but thanks. Now get out of my face. What a charming bitch. I'm so glad she was the one taking all of the damage on the different damage interactions tutorial pop-up.
Hey.
Can't talk any sense into this one. She's just too twisted. Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah, thanks.
So we're back on 50 points as usual. But in the meantime, Robert wants to talk to us. A soldier standing next to Robert wants to talk to us, and Robert's tent is usually in this direction. So let's take a little jog, shall we? Here we are, there's Robert. And someone else in his tent. We'll have to go see them too then, won't we?
Yeah? Hey, Cap. What did you think of Robin's performance in the last battle?
Let's see. He's doing the best he can and working hard to improve. Just like the rest of us. Why?
Well, don't get me wrong. I can tell he's trying hard, but he lacks confidence. It feels like he's afraid to ask others for help and puts everything on himself. Me and some of the older soldiers have been trying to give him pointers, but I think it's just making him feel worse.
I see why you're worried about him. The drive to improve yourself is a special thing. You don't want to crush that.
My thoughts exactly. So I've been giving it some thought, and I was wondering if you could pass this on to him for me?
A tactics book?
Yeah. I figure if he wants to learn on his own, let's give him the tools.
Odd choice. But sure, will do.
Oh, and please don't mention that I gave it to you.
Don't worry. I have a little more tact than that.
Just a
Thanks,
little.
Cap. I'll leave it to you then.
So Robin's going to get his very own personal edition of Robert's Tactics Guide. Let's hope it comes in useful. Now what do you want, soldier?
Hi there.
What exactly do you around here? I handle security and scouting around camp as we move from place to place. That includes patrolling nearby villages and establishing contact with locals. Civilian outreach makes our lives easier. At least that's what Robert said when he gave me this assignment. Robert, huh? Do you think people are going to want to cooperate with us? Not everyone's a fan of a rebellion, much less aiding one. You're not wrong. That's why we try to approach from a position of humility rather than barking orders. Helping people with their problems also lets us keep track of the concerns they have with us. Essentially, we're doing reconnaissance and building prestige at the same time. Makes sense to me, but it sounds like a lot of work. Anytime you'd like to be apprised of our progress, you can come talk to me. Well, sounds good. So now, we have this board full of tasks that can be achieved for prestige, which will be a new resource that we will gain. You can check all of the available prestige quests on the notice board. Quests are accepted automatically and upon completion will reward your army with prestige. As your prestige increases, you'll gain access to new perks. You can unlock these by speaking to the taskmaster and spending some leadership. So we have obtain medicine. We need more medicinal supplies for emergency use. Marshall. Deliver 2 small recovery potions to Marshall for 2 prestige. Urgent collection order. All copies of propaganda issued by Colin's Crows must be turned over immediately. Anyone found in possession of such will be punished accordingly. Vice Commander Ballastar. We must locate a copy of the Crow flyer in the central square and deliver it to Ballastar for free prestige. Request a menu upgrade. There have been requests to upgrade the camp menu recently. Please have a word with the person in charge of that. Take part in a camp activity with Sarah and select the conversation topic Improving the Camp menu. Alright, we can do all those. And we got 300 gold more, which is going to be very helpful indeed. Let's go here and speak with Elias, who we haven't had the opportunity to converse with before. Apologies, but I don't have time to chat. Very well then. What do we know about Elias? I believe we have already read of Elias. He is the... Yes. He's the strategist or tactician who helps Isoro and Ballastar. Alright. Well, it would seem that most of our duties lie down in this direction, so let's jog on off over here. Here we go. And indeed, this area of camp is now, well, it's already open to us. But it's nice to visit it again. Now, there's a nice brightly coloured awning over there with red and white stripes. I want to investigate. I see a grey-haired old woman holding up something that looks... something in her hand. Maybe a bottle or a pipe. I'm not going to get through this gap, am I? Nope. Oh well, I might as well try. I also see something glittering over there. It could be one of those crow flyers. Also something over here. They do seem to be everywhere, don't they? Right. And I strongly suspect... yeah. This one's disappeared now, so there's one there. There's probably a few others lying around, so we could have found it in multiple places. I should probably read it before I give it up as well. Birds of a feather fly together. To the reader of this message, be thou bold, be thou brave, strugglest thou in secret against the Emperor's slithering serpents? Struggle alone no longer. Take flight from your miserable life and join the merry flock of Colin Corax, the one true king of Artemesia. All the riches you can steal, All the glory you can win, all the freedom you could want. If you wish to seek us out, take this message and your sharpest blade into the nearby woods. Wait there 3 days. We'll find you. I imagine Ballastar might take his sharpest blade into the nearby woods for 3 days and murder a load of crows. Can we read that? No. A book on squad tactics belonging to Robert. The pages are filled with writing about troop coordination and the warrior spirit. The margins are filled with Robert's densely scribbled notes. Now, hello there, my dear.
Anything catch your eye?
I've got a great many items for sale. Why not take a look? Oh, for crying out loud, when did this camp become an open-air market? All right, go ahead, give me your sales pitch. Ah, well, as you can see, I'm a general merchant, but unlike others, I specialize in rare goods.
So.
Yeah, you and everyone else around here. Look, no offense, but we've got enough peddlers at the moment. And I've got plenty of customers. This isn't the only stop on my route, I'll have you know. I'll be gone before you turn around twice. Now then, time is money. Either buy something or... Either buy something or be gone with you, young man. So lucky to have the ability to interact with that. Right.
Anything catch your eye?
This is Salma, the rare goods merchant. She sells rare goods in that the goods she sells are rare, and she is a rare goods merchant in that her appearances are rare, few and far between. Let's see what she has for us. And this is probably what we've been saving all our money for. Placid plated armor. Gives Placid like the Placid shield. We'll have that. Cruel sword. When landing a physical critical hit, the extra damage is increased by +4. Also, additional physical attack. Refined bow. So, rare bow, +3 accuracy and critical hit when physical... Yeah. Refined, critical hit +5 when using combat skills, so high crit rate when using skills. That is a lot of money already. She also always has gifts for sale, so we'll have that soldier's badge for 200, world map for 200, an aged grimoire for 200, some beer for 200, which is, in all fairness, probably bound for Gilbert's stomach. Or Gilbert's gullet, I should have said, for the alliteration. And a gilded goblet for a mere 300, a rare report item. An ornate goblet smithed by a reclusive artisan in Hullisburg. The outside is engraved with the image of an ancient dragon god wreathed in lightning. That sounds like a wonderful drinking vessel. That's 3,200. That's a lot. It's taking us down to 795, but well worth it. Absolutely going to proceed with that transaction.
You're much too kind, dear.
Now, let's put some of these items to good use. I know roughly where some of them are going to go. So, Robin will enjoy the new bow, the refined bow, no less. And we will give the cruel sword, with its high crit rate, to Andrea because she's a cruel, vindictive person who's probably going to be a nasty, evil assassin later on. There was also an item we gained from the last fight, a steel necklace, which gives a defense bonus. So we will give that to Francisco to tie in with his passive ability. His passive ability of his physical defense being higher when he's over half health. Now, what else do we have here beyond the gifts? Placid plate armor. I'm going to hold off on deciding who to give that to just yet. And then we have a number of gifts. We have 6 gifts now, which we can put to good use. Do we have an entry on Salma, the rare goods merchant? We apparently do not. That's fine. Although, rules of engagement. Why not? We've just picked up Robert's military tactics book after all. The history of Artemesia is a record etched in blood, forged over untold centuries of battle and rebuilding. As the methods of war have changed, so have the laws, customs, and culture surrounding it. In centuries past, war was the sole provenance of lifelong warriors, with small-scale battles governed by strict honor philosophies. With the discovery of steel blacksmithing and horse husbandry came the rise of peasant armies and the development of formal codes of chivalry which persisted for much of Artemesia's history. During the unification, such codes were cast aside with the rapid adoption of practices like poisoning and assassination as everyday tactics, owing in large part to House Zerpiel. Surprise, surprise. The Imperial Propaganda Ministry takes great pains to retroactively glorify such tactics, painting the martial cultures of defeated enemies as archaic and foolish. As war once more spreads across the continent, the rules of engagement have begun to evolve again, from the asymmetrical strategies of Colin's Crows to the mixed unit tactics of the Banarian rebels. And of course, we were once a mercenary company. With the growing abundance of monsters activity in both rural and urban areas, travel between cities and provinces has become increasingly dangerous. To address this, various mercenary groups have arisen across Artemesia, thriving in areas the Empire has neglected. While the official position towards such organizations is one of vague disapproval, there are no laws against it, most likely because provincial towns rely on their services in order to meet imperial tax quotas. Though the majority of mercenary work consists of escorting wealthy merchants, many ply their trade to the poor as well, providing any number of services from monster culling to town watch duties, and even the odd bit of menial labour. Well now, I see Francisco's name over there, behind the quest notification, so let's go see what he's up to with this group of men. Let's go, people! Focus! Focus!
How's it going? Oh, hey, Eden.
Why are you training here instead of out there?
It's not by choice. Robert doesn't want anybody leaving camp alone. Says there might still be monsters outside.
I guess we really do need a training grounds. Alright, just stick it out for now. In the meantime, I'll see what I can do.
Whoa! Really? Oh, that's great! You should make it the biggest and most beautiful training field ever!
Alright already.
Nice to know Francisco's a details man, you know. Oh yeah, just make it amazing! Sure thing, Francisco. And I see Gio up ahead. That individual we were instructed to go and meet. So let's do that.
Pardon my intrusion, but you have a striking resemblance to High Commander Isoro.
Ha! You've got a sharp eye. People have been saying we look alike my whole life. Personally, I don't see it. But I suppose blood outs all in the end.
By blood? You mean...
The name is Gio Fenice, Isoro's brother.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't know the High Commander had a brother.
Don't trouble yourself. I hear that often too.
It's probably a well-guarded
Yes, the
secret.
Fenice family isn't all thick-necked warriors, like my brother and nephew. Surprising, isn't it?
Yeah. Apparently we can ask about Ballastar now, so sure, let's do that.
If it's alright with you, can I ask a question? If you've got family seniority, why does Ballastar lead Isoro's troops instead of you?
Have you seen Ballastar?
Was this perhaps your first time afield with Ballastar?
Yes, sir.
Then you'll soon see for yourself. I wasn't born a warrior, but even if I had been, the simple truth is, it still wouldn't matter. My nephew is a demon on the battlefield. Whether as a warrior or a commander, no soul in Artemesia is his equal.
Oh, I see.
Interesting. I should try talking to some more of Ballastar's allies. But first, I'm going to have a word with Robin here. I've got a book I'd like to show him. Hey there, Rob. How you doing, young lad?
Hi there.
Here, Robin. Take this.
What's this? A tactics book? What are you giving me this for?
Because you're you. There aren't many people with the patience for something like this, you know? Think about it. If I gave it to Francisco, he'd just try to hit someone with it.
I guess so.
Just take a look when you have some time, okay?
Yeah. Sure thing, Cap.
Lovely. Apparently I'll have to talk to Robin again. Well, I'm not going to I'm going to give him some time to go over it first. I'll visit Sarah here and talk about the food.
Hello.
Let's chat over a meal. I'm not sure I'm a most exciting company, but thank you for noticing me. Hey, look, about the food. I just wanted to talk about the food. Please, go ahead. Is there something wrong with it? No, not at all. It's not about me, but everyone else. Every time our army grows, there's more mouths to feed. I imagine that makes cooking for everyone trickier. You know, I haven't thought about it that way, but it's true. We have so many different backgrounds here, so many different cuisines. Honestly, everyone's tastes are different. Trying to please everyone is becoming quite a challenge. Oh, it's nice that you're thinking about it at all, considering the circumstances. Well, I'm trying to anyway. We only have so many options though. There's a limit to how many dishes you can make out of the same simple ingredients, but things could always change in the future. With how much travelling around we do, I'm sure we'll get access to new and interesting ingredients before long. Could well be a prestige quest. I hope everyone can bear with me until then. Oh, I'm sure they'll be glad to hear it.
Much appreciated.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm glad you're looking out for us all. Happy to serve, Captain. It was fun spending time with you today. I should get back to work. Yeah, you do that. So we can go turn that in at the prestige board sometime soon. But there's a few new individuals over here. There's Merchant Porter. Does he have anything interesting to say?
Welcome back.
Nope.
Many thanks.
Godfrey. Well, look who it is. You trying to start something? Relax, I'm only joking. Tough talk is how mercenaries say hello. Whatever, get back to work, rookie. Don't expect to win friends around here overnight just because you killed a few monsters.
Yeah.
Duly noted. Godfrey, do we know anything about Godfrey? We do know about Godfrey. Okay, good to know. We got Merchant Zavarol here.
How may I assist you?
Got anything interesting and new for me? All still common. Okay.
My humblest gratitude.
Let's see this chap, Hector, over here. He appears to be wearing that same berserker outfit we've seen Ballastar wear in one of the lawbook entries. Same, I think, for Godfrey, actually, over there. Right, hello. Apparently we can give him gifts, which is making me think he might be a recruitable character, and that we'd want to start raising his rapport.
Hi there.
I'm Eden from Lunetta. Looking forward to working with you. New, huh? In that case, a word of advice. I don't know what you've been through before coming here, but you should be careful about getting too close to Ballastar. He may share blood with Sorrow, but the similarities end there. Okay. So he doesn't like Ballastar, or he's heard something that makes him think we should be careful, or he wants us to be cautious, like he's trying to scare us off. This Dominic chap, does he have... He might eventually come into... Maybe he'll join and help out with the cooking next camp or something bizarre. Hey Robin, let's talk about that book again, shall we?
Hi there.
So, how's it going, Robin?
I skimmed through the book you gave me earlier, but I have a few things I'm curious about. Well, firstly, this is a 5-book series. How come you only gave me the 3rd volume?
Because that was the only one I could find.
Also, there are notations all over every chapter. They're really thorough. They break down all the dense parts step by step.
Oh, those are mine. I scribbled them down while I was reading.
Cap, I'm not an idiot. I know Robert's handwriting when I see it.
Alright, you got me. Well, what difference does it make?
It makes all the difference. He shouldn't have you running dumb errands like this. Especially just to help me.
Robin, everyone needs help to improve. Francisco does, Robert does, and even I do. But it's a different talent to take what you've learned and make it your own. When it comes to learning new things, you've got a knack. Seriously.
Yeah, but...
You still don't believe me? Alright. I guess I'll just have to prove it to you in a real battle.
So the objective has changed to win the next battle, which means we're not going to be doing it in this chapter, so that's a carryover quest. Chat with Elena. Build a training ground. Head to the empty area at the outskirts of camp. So, down this way. Got it. That's a bit of a way, so I'm going to take a little bit of a jog. Meander off in this direction. Also, Gilbert's over this way. We might give him a drink. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? And I see Lynard over there, which means Marshall can't be far off. That does look like her. Yes. Alright. That is indeed a very large field, with a simple wheelbarrow on it and some piles of wood.
Yeah, this ought to make a good spot.
Vice General, are you looking for something in particular?
Ah, good timing. I was actually thinking about expanding the camp a bit.
What for?
The training grounds. We'll need one sooner or later.
Understood, sir. Tell me what you'd like, and we'll do our best to prepare the area.
Well then, we have one available option.
It should be nice and wide, so we can accommodate a large number of people.
Yes, sir.
Yep, okay, that's good as well. Swordsmanship and archery training, both helpful.
Every role is different, so we need something for everyone. We'll need drills in a variety of disciplines.
Understood. Is there anything else?
Very good question. How about some really decent instructors?
The best training grounds in the world is nothing without good teachers. We'll need to find people who are qualified for that.
Understood. I'll pass the word along.
Great. You've taken a load off my shoulders. I'm counting on you.
Hopefully that'll be built by our next camp, and that is a big rapport increase for Francisco. Should be finished by the time our next expedition. Yeah, sure. Let's head over here and talk to our friends. Have you learned more? By contract, so the Empire has appointed Caspar to be the High Commander.
Worth considering.
Caspar, I've heard that name before. I believe he fought alongside the Emperor during the Unification. There are reports that Colin Corax's men have already faced multiple defeats at Caspar's hand. That explains why so many crows have been deserting. If Caspar is victorious over Colin, it's likely his next target will be High Commander Isoro. Do you truly wish to remain here? It's too late to turn back now. The Empire has placed a sizable bounty on Isoro's head. There may still be avenues available to us. So he's trying to persuade her to do a runner, basically. And what was that line? My contacts say the Empire has appointed Caspar to be High Commander of the Imperial Army. Got it. A name she's heard of before. Do we have something on training grounds? No, but when they fought their monsters, Eden and his friends did make up a crude town watch. Though governed by imperial laws and subject to imperial taxes, most towns receive no protection from imperial troops. Instead, they generally have their own patrol force under the service of their respective local lords. However, it is no secret that these town watches are both inept and corrupt, and it is painfully clear to the common folk just whose interests they serve. Also, we met with Gio, this old fella, Isoro's brother and Balastar's uncle. As another proud son of the Fenice family, Gio is more than competent in battle. However, he is known more for his gentle heart and jovial nature. He enjoys a good reputation with soldiers in camp who regard him as a kindly father figure. Good to know, so we won't expect him to be too nasty to us at any point in time. Now, Marshall also wants some healing potions, doesn't she?
Yes.
Finally, a moment to rest. Think anybody would notice if I slipped away and took a nap?
Don't get carried away now, Vice General. Your duties aren't just on the battlefield, you know.
I know that. But look around. Nobody needs some backwater mercenaries' help to run a military camp.
You might be surprised. In fact, I seem to recall hearing about a new face in camp who's creating quite the stir. Someone like you may be best equipped to welcome her.
Sounds
Me?
like something we should look into.
Why?
They say she's a huntress from the middle of nowhere. Supposed to be a very talented archer. Perhaps you can find some common ground and convince her to join us? After all, the best leaders set a top-down example.
Spoken like a true bureaucrat.
I'll take that as a compliment.
A new visitor has arrived in camp. They'll be available to interact with for the next few chapters. Some visitors can be recruited to join your troop. To recruit new allies, you may need to build your rapport with them or complete a few quests. Speaking of completing quests...
Yes?
Hey, look, about this medicine. I saw your notice. I brought the medicine you needed for those soldiers. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to answer. Oh, here you go, all the same.
You have my thanks.
Thank you. These will be put to good use. What, no favour gain?
Yes?
Let's ask about Aurelio while we're here. So what did you think of Colin Corax's right-hand man?
It's worth considering.
Well, he wasn't what I expected, to say the least. It's strange. What is? In the Empire, among those who deal with rebel factions, Aurelio had a decent reputation. On the field, a wild demon, but outside it, a cunning diplomat with a cool head. That is not the impression I got. That guy was crazy.
Yes.
That's exactly my point. It's a curious discrepancy. I wonder what was said between them. Who, Aurelio and Colin?
Absolutely not.
I meant Aurelio and Balastar. Huh, Balastar? That negotiation before the battle, it just seemed a bit rushed. That guy conquered a town and set monsters on people. I don't think he was open to a peaceful resolution from Ballastar or anyone. Yes, I suppose you're right. She's thinking things over, analysing things, and here's Leonard. Let's not ignore him.
What is it?
What are your thoughts on our last fight? Quite honestly, disappointment. What do you mean? You think we did something wrong? Not us. I'm disappointed in our enemies. I've been monitoring the crows for some time. I had thought them a formidable force, one we might ally with, perhaps. Or a good backup plan if you decided to abandon us.
You're clearly confused.
I have no idea what you mean. In any case, there is little danger of that. They were most unimpressive. Taming a manticore doesn't impress you? I am not impressed by borrowed strength derived from subjugation.
Whoa.
Wow, noble, and here I had you pegged as the cold, pragmatic type. Those who side with monsters soon become them.
Right.
A lesson you do well to remember. I think he's implying Ballastar may be a monster. Or Ballastar and his friends. Oh, there's Guillermo. Or Guillermo. Let's pop over and say hello to him. We've already learned a bit about him. He's another tactical advisor of his sorrows, isn't he? Eden? Well, that's it. That's all he's going to say. Yeah, we got his number. Okay, cool. Well then, let's head on this way. And here we find Gilbert.
Need something?
It's a shame there aren't medals for predicting the future. You called that last battle so well it's scary. Like I said, same story, different war. You get to be my age, you stop being surprised by the actions of monsters. Humankind, anyway. Can't say I saw a pet manticore coming. Seriously, that Aurelio guy was out of his mind. Maybe. What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Don't listen to me. No, come on, I sense some more cynical wisdom coming. Smart ass. Alright, fine. Isoro's outfit calls itself a rebellion, but as far as armies go, it's pretty traditional. Highborn leaders calling the shots, lowborn troops dying in the mud. Wow, you make it sound so romantic. It is what it is, but the crows, on the other hand, now that's a bona fide uprising. I don't know what that Aurelio fellow's story. Maybe he was just a killer who latched onto a cause, then got out while the getting was good. Or maybe he started as something else and became what he became when the thing he believed in fell apart. Sounds like you're speaking from experience there, old-timer. I'm old. Every time I open my mouth, experience comes out, whether I like it or not. He can be a bit of a downer sometimes, can't he? Let's head back up here, turn in that prestige quest, and go looking for Elena. She should be around here somewhere, right? In that we've explored a lot of the rest of the camp already. And we can have a look out for that visitor around camp as well. So, we talked to Sarah about food. We gave the medicine to Marshall. We still need to give a crow flyer to Ballastar. There we are. 5 prestige gained. Excellent work. And back around this way we go. Oh, there she is. Been a while since we last saw her in the field. Like a whole episode almost. Hello there, little girl. Is Eden just really tall? Most of the women seem to be like half a head to 3/4 of a head shorter than him.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Eden.
Elena, you're our resident monster expert, I take it?
Oh, that? It was nothing, really.
No, it's thanks to your knowledge that so many soldiers were able to survive. Thank you.
I only did what I had to.
Hey, look, what do you know about Isoro?
What kind of person is the High Commander?
He's a gentleman, but not a soft one. Though he's generally friendly, when it comes to the Empire, he becomes a completely different beast.
So even he has a dark side.
Most charismatic men do. But I wouldn't trouble yourself about the High Commander's bad side. After all, you won't be on it, right?
Not planning on it. Speaking of High Commander, how about your more direct commander?
What kind of person is Ballastar?
Ballastar is, in many ways, the exact opposite of his uncle. He's rough around the edges, but deep down, he's got a warm heart. Of course, there are many who don't see him that way.
I haven't had many experiences with him myself, but that's hard for me to even imagine.
You'll see when you get closer to him. Now that we're on the subject, why not seek him out yourself?
Sounds like she's got a bit of a soft spot for Ballastar. Might as well go see what he's up to right now, eh? And there he is, in that large tent that arrived in our camp last chapter. The one with the heraldic emblems on the outside. There he is, standing with his back to the door. And 2 documents we can pick up and read.
Have to hand it to you. You're quite knowledgeable about monsters. It's thanks to you that we had a swift victory.
I've had lots of chances to get to know them. Odd jobs and such. Speaking of getting to know one another, I'd say you and I worked fairly well together.
Are all mercenaries so humble?
Confidence is the only way a mercenary can survive.
Interesting. We'll have to discuss it over a drink sometime.
Looking forward to it.
Ooh, small strength elixir and small magic elixir. We are getting treats. Let's go see what this is. Brother, I hope this letter finds you well amidst all the other calamitous matters that demand your attention. Sometimes I bemoan the gods for having me be born the youngest. I will never have to shoulder the sorts of burdens you and Amadio did. But enough of that. There's something I need to put down on paper, if only to organize my own feelings on the matter. Simply put, I wanted to speak to you about Ballastar. As a member of his immediate troops, I observe his every move, both in battle and out. Don't get me wrong, you have done a fine job raising the boy. I couldn't be any prouder to be his uncle, and I sincerely believe that Amadio would be proud as well. But this family has suffered tremendous losses. Ballastar perhaps most of all. I've seen the way he talks about the Empire and how harshly he deals with Imperial troops. It worries me, that anger. Not for their sake, but his. I will continue to keep an eye on him. Please do the same. With love, Gio. Now, the Imperial Army, eh? Initially assembled as the conquering force of House Zerpiel, the Imperial Army has since expanded to plant eyes and ears across Artemesia. But with the Empire in decline and public animus on the rise, the army's mission has gradually shifted from maintaining order to exterminating rebellions. That task has been made even more difficult given the decline of the army itself. Once a fearsome machine, its frontline forces were reserved for only the most vicious of warriors, while its upper echelons were dominated by the most brutal of tactical minds. Today, its ranks have been hollowed out by nepotism and its forces spread thin across the provinces. But while its current forces may lack the skill and experience of their predecessors, they are not without menace. Bolstered by overwhelming numbers and driven by the sure-footed leadership of High Commander Caspar, the Imperial Army remains a formidable challenge to any who would defy the Emperor's will. And we also spoke to Alina, who seems to have a soft spot for Ballastar. She was also grateful for the help we'd given on the battlefield. Kind and soft-hearted, Elena is a much-needed beacon of hope for the weary soldiers in camp. Though gentle, she can assert a stern demeanour when needed, driving her allies to give their all, if only to avoid disappointing her. I see. Ballastar, while I'm here...
Hi there.
Is this the flyer for the crows that you were looking for? Ah, you saw the announcement. Let's take a look. Here you go. One thing less to worry about. Thanks. Well, at least we get some prestige for it. And this is just lying on the table. Isoro's Reflections. Thoughts from Selvin. Ah, I could have held off reading the Selvin entry till just after this. We faced the crows today, or a splintered group at least, but sooner or later enough, expectations to the norm become the norm. It makes me angry. Our aims may differ, but we gain little from fighting one another. I blame Korax. Failure like that echoes down from the top. Sometimes I wonder if I'm letting my own failures echo, my own stubborn pride. I used to try to draw a difference between the need for this rebellion and my reasons for fighting it. I didn't want this war to be perceived as one old man trying to polish his own bruised legacy. But it's the truth. I may as well own it. Does wearing a weakness on your sleeve make it a strength? I don't know. In any case, the troop from Luneta continues to exceed expectations. That boy Eden's got a mind for this business. Good heart too. A little too good, perhaps. Though on the other hand, maybe that's what we need around here. Ballastar could certainly learn a thing or two from him. Eden and Ballastar. Two halves of the same coin, that pair. Reminds me of Amadio and myself. Hopefully they can bring out the best in one another. I'd hate to see the worst. So would I, my friend. So would I. Although we may have gained a glimpse of it at the very beginning of the game. The developers are currently discussing removing that cutscene and short little run out of the square scenario. I would wholeheartedly support that, because it contained knowledge that we probably didn't need this early in the game. Here we have Lila, and looks like, what's her name? Lucina? Selena, that's right. Oh, what's this?
Did you hear about that hunter who showed up?
The one who's been demanding to speak to whoever's in charge? Seems like a real loudmouth to me.
Showed up? You haven't seen her shoot. I saw her practicing on some pumpkins outside the camp the other day. She split one in half from almost 100 paces.
Wow, impressive.
Sounds like someone serious. Selena, I'd like to thank you for your assistance on the battlefield. She's got nothing to say. Lila? We saw you earlier on, but we shouldn't have, really. You want something? They call me Eden. I'm new around here. I just thought I'd introduce myself. Oh, I've heard about you. You're the one from Luneta, right, lady? You just literally helped me in a battle. My reputation precedes me. Better watch yourself with this one, sis. He looks like a smooth talker. I don't trust smooth talkers. They're always hiding something. You're the one who told me to be polite. So you two are sisters. Your powers of deduction are stunning. We said hello. Now get lost and stay away from my sister. You're just like Andrea. People who bother me tend to misplace things, like body parts. Lila! Alright, fine, fair enough, you know. Seems the Isoro's army is pretty full of strong people. Strong and unnecessarily aggressive. There's a red person icon over here that probably looks important in this area that was where the soldiers were talking about a new person. Probably just out of earshot of her. This would be the person Marshall mentioned as well. let's make ourselves known.
Hiya.
Don't think I've seen you in camp before.
Are you the one in charge around here?
Whoa. I don't know if I'd say in charge, necessarily. But let's start over. Hi, I'm Eden. And you are?
Karin. Some people also call me the Great Huntress.
Is that so?
Hunting monsters is my family's trade. Or it was, until recently. So imagine my surprise when I found out some up-jumped thugs from Lynetta have been going around my territory, cutting in on my business.
Jumped up. There's no such word as
What do you have
up-jumped.
to say for yourselves? Making a poor girl starve?
Whoa, 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 slow down. You've got it all wrong. We're not trying to steal anyone's business. We're not mercenaries anymore. We're Isoro's soldiers. Any monsters we've killed lately have been purely self-defense.
Oh yeah? Then what's this I hear about you lot marching to Selvin and killing a bunch of hellhounds?
That's
Oh,
different.
don't worry about the
Those are
hellhounds.
being controlled by this guy named Aurelio who...
There was a manticore.
Yeah, right. Nobody can tame monsters.
That's what we thought too. Welcome to the war. But listen, I'm sorry about your circumstances. Seriously. So how about I cut you a deal? Your archery skills seem to be turning heads around here. Why not join us? I'm not going to lie and say it'll be easy, but at least you'll have food and shelter.
As if I don't know what you people are all about.
What's that supposed to mean?
Like my father used to say, at least beasts are honest. I hunt monsters, not people. Why should I trust anyone that kills their fellow man?
Well, I can't argue with that. Except to say, the Empire's certainly done more than their share of killing. And most of the people here can attest to that personally. Why don't you stay a while? If we've taken food out of your mouth, even accidentally, then the least we owe you is a decent meal. And while you're here, you can check out the camp and decide what kind of people we are.
All right. But only because I'm hungry. But just so you know, I'm also pursuing a mark in this area. As soon as I find it, I'm gone.
Right, so she's here for a limited amount of time. Also, I know I've mentioned it before during the playtest. I'm going to mention it again at some point, so I might as well get out of the way now. She still has the exact same default face model and hair model. She has the default hair and the default female half-elf hair and face from the Neverwinter Nights 2 character creator. If I reinstall it at some point, I might even take a screenshot or film a short snippet and insert it into an episode. Go, look, see how similar this is? For now, though, I'm going to leave her to look around camp for a bit. There's Andrea. I'll go ask her what she thinks of this woman just down the path. She's standing out here on the edge of camp, on her own, hating everyone, sulking, being a bit of a brat.
Yeah?
Hi there.
Andrea, just checking in. Everything going okay? We're fighting a war. What do you think?
Damn.
What's your problem?
What's your
At the
problem?
moment, you. Does this have something to do with Sarah taking over as camp cook? As a matter of fact, it does. She wouldn't have to toil over a campfire for the likes. Shouldn't have to toil over a campfire for the likes of you. That's the same type of menial crap Rodrigo used to make her do. Now hang on. Nobody pushed this on Sarah. She volunteered. Because she felt guilty, and you all let her. What, do you want to help cook then? You know she has a tremor in her hands. All this cooking and scrubbing is not going to make it even worse. I understand your concern, but think about it from her perspective. She wants to be helpful. Should I treat her like a child and tell her she can't? I know you want to protect her, but you need to respect her ability to make her own choices. Fine. Guess you're right. Sorry, could you say that a little louder? I couldn't quite piss off. Charming as usual, my dear. Yeah, I don't think I need to engage in too much well, she's not the kind of person you'd want to gain a lot of rapport with, let's put it that way. While I'm here, hey, let's just check this a moment. About this monster you're hunting.
You mentioned you're on the trail of your next target. What are you hunting? Maybe I can help.
I doubt it. I'm chasing a beast called a manticore. Seriously nasty.
Dear.
I've been on its trail for weeks. Most hunters won't even accept a job if there's a manticore involved. But I know I can beat it.
I, may have some bad news about that manticore.
Oh no. Don't tell me.
We killed one at that battle in Selvin.
You're kidding me. How did you people manage that?
Well, it definitely wasn't easy.
Oh man. Now what am I gonna do?
I'm getting the sense this wasn't just any normal job for you.
My father got himself into a hunting dispute with some Imperial soldiers. He's been bedridden for months, so it's been up to me to put food on the table. That manticore would have taken care of us for a while.
You could still claim credit for it. I won't stop you.
And risk ruining my reputation if people find out it's not true? No way.
I'm sorry. Truly. Listen, I know this might sound like I'm just trying to get on your good side, but I know where you're coming from. Me and my buddies, we're not soldiers. We're just a bunch of country bumpkins that got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're all here because we have people we want to protect. Not a day goes by that I don't think of their faces.
And you're okay with killing others for it?
No, I'm not. I'd stop the whole war right now if I could. Then nothing would change.
My dad would like you. What did you say your name was again?
Eden. Eden of Lanetta.
All right, Eden. Thanks for this talk. I still don't know if I want to join your little club, but I'll give it some thought.
When she said, "Oh man," she sounded just like Francisco. So, if I want her to join us, I'm probably going to have to give her a few gifts. She's over halfway there already. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 35. I've got 35. I don't want to be spending it all on her. Let's give her 1 and see how it goes. She's a hunter, so I think she'd appreciate a map. Well, got us a bit. Actually, we should probably see if she's got an entry that we can... No! So we need to recruit her to unlock her entry to find out more about her. I see. We do know about Selena and Lila, so let's look at that. Naturally shy and reserved, Selena often hides behind her younger sister Lila, despite being the elder. Though not one to angle for attention, she can often be found meticulously training and preparing for battle in her own way. Often found accompanying her sister Selena, whom she takes it upon herself to protect from the rougher elements of camp. Known for having a chilly, walled-off demeanour, especially around people she doesn't know. Yeah, no kidding. I should probably read about Imperial Inquisitors, given that Marshall is one. Just get that out of the way as well, you know. Key mid-level officials in the Imperial bureaucracy, Inquisitors are special administrators given broad power to audit local lords on behalf of the Empire. Ostensibly, their purpose is to serve as a check on corruption, but with little oversight. Most are corrupt themselves and earn a comfortable living by looking the other way. Nonetheless, some are indeed well-meaning individuals, striving to reform a broken system from within, an uphill battle in which they receive little support. I want to look at the map. So, no meal for Robert. What's that? That's for the board, isn't it? Nobody in this portion of the map wants to eat, so eating would be down here. let's go see who we can feed, because that's 15 whole points of leadership right away. Also, we got a new gift when we completed the order for the training grounds, a training spear. A dulled practice weapon. The ends are draped with cloth to minimize injury. And we know Francisco quite likes training. He likes all the exercise mainly, but it's probably an item he would appreciate. And here's a woman called Rosalina.
Hi there.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Name's Eden. I'm Rosalina. Can I ask you what you do on the battlefield? Forward scouting and reconnaissance. I also lead archers on occasion. Wow, so you're the very front of the front lines, huh? What's that like? Scary, I bet. Not really. It's just doing what needs to be done.
Well...
Oh, alright. So she seems very matter-of-fact and business-like. Alright. There we go. Come on. Concerning Robin, yeah. This one. A woman of few words, Rosalina is difficult to approach, much less read. Regardless, she's deadly with a bow and carries out Isoro's orders without hesitation. I see. So, in this area, oh, do I have to get closer to check?
How's it going?
So I can't have a meal with Francisco.
Thanks.
Hi there.
I can have a meal with Robin for 15, but also there's a special camp activity chat for 10 with him, which might be just as much. That would leave me with 20 points, which would be 4 gifts.
Aw, thanks.
Hello. I can't thank you enough.
So there's no one else down here I could eat with. So yeah, let's have that chat.
Hi there.
Everything okay? You seem kind of distracted.
Let's see.
I was just thinking, those guys we fought today, they were from our side, right? Sorry, they were rebels, but they weren't our allies. This war keeps getting more complicated. If figuring out who to trust is this hard for us, what about everyone back home? We can't do anything from here. There's no point worrying ourselves to death over it. Worrying about everyone is the whole reason we left. If Lunetta's not safe, what's all this even for?
Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm just getting myself worked up. Why don't you write them some letters? That always makes you feel better. You're right. Thanks, Cap. Sorry. And we got a nice little rapport boost of him as well. So,
Hi there.
we could have a meal with him to
Aw,
get
thanks.
even more rapport. We got good with her though, so we should probably try see how many gifts it takes to recruit her, then see how many points we got left. Francisco's quite happy as well at the moment, and if we give him that spear, he'll probably like it even more. Alright, let's head back this way then. And since we handed that that leaflet into Ballastar, we can go turn that in as well at the board. Maybe even see if Robert would fancy a meal while we're at it, although that's probably not the case.
Yeah?
Nope.
Thank you.
And we didn't have the opportunity to have a meal with Leon either. Okay, let's complete that. So we now have 8 current prestige out of apparently 30 which have been available in the story so far, which is an outright lie because this is the only opportunities we've ever had to gain any prestige. Unless we can speak to him and unlock some more prestige quests while we're at it. Nope, nothing. So I don't know where those extra 22 points are hiding. Now then, let's see if we can make this little lady happy. No, I'm not being sexist. Look at the size of her next to Eden. She's flipping tiny.
Hiya.
Have you seen enough around camp yet? So have you checked out the rest of the camp yet? I've poked around here and there. If you haven't made your decision yet, you're welcome to stay a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might just do that. But we might just need her help in the next battle as well, so let's look into that. The lime cordial, a sweet dessert drink made with syrup and spices, often served cold. Oh, so it's not alcoholic. So that means it's a food thing. Who likes food? Well, apart from Francisco, who likes food? Dunno. Training spear. Well, that's kind of reserved for Francisco, probably. A soldier's badge. A plain badge without any significance or meaning. Soldiers often inscribe these with their names when going off to war. It'll be a way of saying, look, you know, we kind of think of you as one of us. Here's, you know, you can see a little bit of the kind of things we have.
Thank you, thank you.
She quite liked that one.
Hiya.
An aged grimoire. I have a horrible suspicion I should be giving that to some kind of wizard. And a gilded goblet, which looks very valuable and might just close the gap. That was a large gain, but it didn't close the gap. So, I don't want to give her the training spear. I don't want to give her the aged grimoire. The beer is probably for Gilbert. So I could give her the lime cordial, right? And it went into the next level. Well, she really liked those gifts.
Hiya.
So, what do you say we work together, eh?
My mistake.
I apologise for sounding so arrogant a while back. So, what do you say? Want to come along with us? We could use someone with skills like yours around here. Why didn't you say so earlier? I kind of did. Alright then, I'll join you. I'll be looking forward to your accomplishments. She has a common bow, common plated armor, common spear, shield, 2 small recovery potions, 3 small recovery potions. So she's in heavy armor apparently. Let's look at that. So she is happy. You know, she's our highest rapport gain at the moment with anyone. Although we can probably address that with Francisco in a moment. What do we know about Karin? Descended from a long line of gamekeepers for Florentine aristocracy, Karin's keen marksmanship has earned her the nickname the Huntress. The only child in her family to survive to adulthood, Karin was tutored in the ways of the wilds by her father, and by the time she came of age, her skills of a bow had already surpassed his. Though merciless while hunting, Karin retains a childlike innocence when it comes to such subjects as war. Doted on by her parents and sheltered from the world, she believes there's a bit of good in everyone, and struggles to comprehend cruelty and corruption. Whether optimistic or naive, her cheery demeanour is a source of comfort to those around her. So, bow, spear, oh god, she's got no spear skill whatsoever, and heavy armour. Affinities for sharpshooter and Templar. So, sharpshooter, range shot. Fire an arrow to inflict damage on a distant enemy. Accuracy is increased by plus 100 when using this skill. Accuracy increases the chance of successfully landing a blow when attacking or countering. I've literally never seen an attack miss yet, so I'm not sure what accuracy actually does. As the defense values reduce for damage, they don't reduce the chance of being hit. Templar, an interesting choice for her. Usable with sword, spear, and two-handed axe. Strikes a single enemy, inflicting damage proportional to the user's own physical defense. Damage increase is equal to physical defense divided by 10 for a maximum increase of 10. So that's actually like the honed arrow, but the honed arrow is adding the defender's defense, whereas this is adding the attacker's defense. And with plate armor, we could probably get her defense up reasonably high. I mean, it's not great at the moment, but over time, if she continues to raise that skill, maybe. Additionally, her lore entry, she believes there's a bit of good in everyone and struggles to comprehend cruelty and corruption. Whether opportunistic or naive, her cheery demeanour is a source of comfort to those around her. I've been wanting to see what the female versions of the Squire, Knight, Templar, Vanguard strain of armour are, because currently all the women are mage or fighter. I'm probably going hunter, warrior. She has bow skill 5, which means she will qualify for hunter very quickly, bow and plate armor. To get her into Squire, we'd need to get her spear skill up to 3, which means lots of training, lots of using it in the field. But that would be an interesting route to go down, especially to see whether her skills support this or not. And her, speaking of skills, her passive is Arborist. When starting a turn in a thicketed area, unit regains 5% of health for a maximum of 5 health. So in the woods she's gathering nuts and berries or healing herbs and stuff, or she just gets that rush of energy, that feeling of enthusiasm, that sense that she can do this. I think I would like to push her a little bit down that way, so I'm going to give her the... Wait. See, her magical defense is 12, so 12 physical, 12 magical, right? We got 16, 13, but that is including armor, right? So 16, 13, 18, 13, so 2 13s, a 12, a 14, some of which, 1 point of which comes from that shield. So he has a 13, so he has the highest. 13, that's just going to be from gear, isn't it? Yeah. 13 is a wizard. 18, she's a priestess or something. 12, sneaky assassin type. 17 is a wizard. So, yeah, if we give her the placid plated armor, that bumps her up to a 14, which puts her on par with Robert. Because I sense she might start getting some more magical defense, and it would be interesting to see if she can go down a physical route of close combat more than shooting. I also am going to give her the lucky earrings, which should modify, I think, critical defense, critical hit, and guard chance. And also, looking at this, right, lead and blow. So I was looking at this for Robert as well, right? The Templar primarily uses a spear, but from the Knight they can get the spear diagonal thrust, right? And then the Templar can get divine blow. Strike one enemy with divine power, quite possibly diagonally, inflicting light damage while healing adjacent allies, not diagonally, by up to 20% of their maximum health. So let's say these are all on squares and these are all warriors, right? So here's our warrior, there's the enemy, the Templar comes up here, makes a diagonal attack, and heals a friend here. I could see, especially on horseback for moving at high speed to get into positions, I could see that being a very interesting thing. But I think we're thinking of the Templar as a paladin. So we're thinking a durable, tough character who's hard to kill, and I think we need to rethink that and imagine the Templar maybe as a mage hunter, chasing down the wizards and stabbing them with a spear at the back. Let's see. Eden, Blessing of Light, it would be a self-heal, and he gets more from heal, so a big self-heal. Shield of Light, big self-magic resistance, again goes with the mage hunter idea. And then down here, let them blow, hit them really hard. Yeah, that's an interesting way to go. Now what have I got here? Isura's Reflections, Letter of Geophonice. Small magic elixir increases magic attack by 5 for 2 turns. And small strength elixir increases physical attack. Does that include the current turn, or is it the next 2 turns? Because if it includes the current turn, that's just 1 turn duration, basically. And I don't know. What do we got here? Oh, just horses and imperial coinage? Sure, let's get those out of the way. Prior to the unification, most of Artemesia's kingdoms had their own currencies. After the empire was established and the kingdoms became provinces, their native currencies were abolished and the gold standard imposed. Manufactured exclusively in the capital city of La Royere, the imperial gold piece is one more system of oppressive control. With new coins, sounds like the single European currency, to be honest, which we mercifully were not stupid enough to sign up to, even though evil Tony Blair and his cronies tried to talk us into it for a very long time, with lots of brainwashing and gaslighting. With new coins printed sporadically, and tax rates that change all the time, the buying power of gold fluctuates constantly, which is a way of saying magic items can get more expensive later on in the game. House Zerpiel weaponizes this volatility to influence markets, enriching its allies and starving its enemies. As a result, imperial coinage is intensely unpopular, a favourite rebel talking point for gaining both common recruits and noble allies, many of whom lost a fortune in the conversion. I bet they did. And finally, though Artemesia is home to myriad cultures and people, one commonality they all share is a dependence on horses. Though it's unknown when wild horses were first introduced to the continent, it is generally believed that they were first domesticated sometime in the past 2 millennia. Since then, a number of specialized breeds have arisen to better suit certain tasks and environments. A horse from Nibosa, or Niabosa. There's an E after the I, so it's probably Ni, but it also could be Ni or Nie. A horse from Niabosa, with its heavy tresses and thick coat, is worlds different from those born in Corsarinda, notable for their sleek, summery manes. Niabosa could be like a cold, wintry place then. From antiquity, the ranching town of Mora in the province of Benario has been famed for breeding the swiftest coursers and strongest destriers, whose descendants can still be found in the stables of Artemesia's wealthiest families. However, since the war, regions such as Viodel and Florient have also seen a surge in horse husbandry, supplying the majority of cavalry stock to the Imperial Army. Now, I think we're fully done here. I believe I'm just going to quickly check the prestige board, because I think we've done all 3 tasks there. And then I'm going to quickly remember that I wanted to go and see... Right, let's go see Francisco and give him that lovely spear, which I'm sure he'll appreciate.
How's it going?
Look, I thought you might like this.
Thanks.
Oh, he liked that a lot. Great. So, just before I dip out, I'm going to check that nobody is short on potions. Got 3, got 3, 3, 3, 3, because I know I used a couple in the last fight. And then I'll ask if anyone wants to be using the new ones. I think, in the interest of living dangerously, Leon could grab one of the strength potions for a damage output. And it would be thematic to give Robert one of the magic resistant potions, but that's not necessarily the best idea right now. Alright, I think it's time to head out of camp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this just in case I completely cock up. And quickly check. Yep, all good. So I'll carry on and I will end the episode at the start of the next battle, which will take up the majority of the next episode. Let's head out of camp. So, Chapter 7, Fawned Rose. Leaving Castilian, heading towards Alicia, where there's an old grey-bearded fellow.
You called for me, sir?
Yes. Come in, come in. Have you heard the latest word on Colin Corax's forces?
Yes, sir. My advisors say the Crows have taken some heavy losses against the Imperial troops led by General Caspar. Colin's trying to regroup, but between the losses and the deserters, his prospects aren't looking very good.
That's quite a comprehensive report. You must have some good advisors.
Yes, sir. One's terrifying, and the other is a drunk.
It's a pity about the Crows, though. If they'd hung in just a bit longer, they might have done some real damage. In the end, it all comes back to leadership. Or lack of it.
There's that arrogance of his again.
The Empire's favorite training dummy has finally collapsed. Wherever will they aim their blades next?
Our throats,
right here.
I expect.
Well put. We'll need to move quickly. Cut them off at the knees. Colin's forces lost any advantage they had the second they started fighting amongst themselves. That's the danger of a strategy that's too single-minded. All it takes is one nasty surprise, and everything falls apart.
If I understand what you're saying, Alice should be our next destination.
We're of a similar mind. That'll be the key. Alice is no great cause for concern right now, but as the board begins to shift, we'll need control of it to mount any sort of offensive. Taking it proactively lays a firm foundation for what comes next. Ballastar told me of your valor at Selvin. That's high praise coming from him.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'll be expecting more of the same from you at Alice.
Will I be accompanying Ballastar again?
No, the stubborn bastard's headed back to Selvin.
Right.
We had some reports of monster activity in the area. He thought it best to deal with the matter himself. He believes that monsters could be used for training purposes.
Well, he's seen it.
So this task at Alice is going to be entirely up to you. Do you think you can handle that?
Yes, of course. As you command.
Don't have a lot of choice in the matter, really, do I?
Alice is quite the imposing place.
Oh, this was a really nice cutscene.
I can see why Sora was so interested in claiming it.
Marshall and Eden riding in on the horseback.
I've heard the area is supposed to be tricky to navigate. They also say Alice's lord is a bit on the paranoid side. As I understand it, he's been hounding the capital to eliminate Isoro for years. Actually, now I'm wondering why Isoro waited so long to attack the place. Why not start his campaign there?
Who knows?
Most likely the risk outweighed the reward.
Have you given any thought to our battle plan?
Sure have. And I'm starting to see why it gave Isoro such a headache. There's just no getting around it. The only way to attack it is to knock the gates in. Isoro probably recognized the heavy losses his troops would take even if he was victorious.
You don't think he sees us as expendable, do you?
Of course he does.
No way.
He's made that somewhat clear already.
Well, I suppose if we can't get past the walls, we can always retreat.
Missy, if we can't breach those walls, the only way you're going back is in a casket.
I really wish they would restore this
All
cutscene.
right, enough gloom and doom. Let's do this.
Castle gate sighted.
All right, men, listen up. We're going to break through those gates and bring them to their knees.
Yeah, it was a very colourful cutscene of them riding past all of the soldiers and the army. It felt epic and really impressive. So now we have to break through these gates, get into the town of Elishe, and subjugate it. And that will be happening in the next episode. I'm going to leave this one here for now, though. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all in the very next one, which I'll be recording shortly after this. I'm going to say goodbye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone. See you all soon.